And now Dr. Panos will speak.
Thank you.
Wait, to be fair,
yes.
let me get out of the way. Use up this now.
I believe my mic is on. And I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be here and present our viewpoint. And if we could please take the cover off of my projector, that would be great.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. And I'm delighted that Toru decided to quote me, and I have no problem discussing it. It's, his viewpoint is quite interesting. Three things we would like you to know about the mayor's transit idea. Number one, traffic congestion with rail is going to be far worse than it is today, and the city's alternatives analysis clearly shows that. Number two, whether you believe our costs or the city's estimates, rail transit will cost several billion dollars, as you just saw. Who wants to spend billions of dollars for a traffic solution that will not reduce traffic congestion? Number three, rail transit is not close to being a done deal. It'll be at least 2 years before the city council will get to vote on actually spending the money. And I show for you the several hoops that the city has to go through, including state and federal EISs, and actually getting a single dollar from the FTA, which in previous opportunities it was reported as 1.2 billion, now all of a sudden it's down to 700 million. So the mayor has to get his story straight. Rail transit is a bad deal, and any way you look at it, and this is, please look the date, it says September 2007, this is from the Federal Transit Administration. These are systems that they do not meet their forecast. Mr. Okino was on record at the PBS show selling you the Pittsburgh system. It attained only 34% of its forecast. The Portland system is the poster boy of light rail systems. Look at what we said that the Federal Transit Administration. We always give you the federal statistics, we do not give you opinions. Rail transit does not work even at places where they tell you that it does. This is Seattle Times, October 14th. The newspaper says, consider Portland. That city opened its first light rail system 2 decades ago and has built several of them. Overall, Greater Portland is no less car dependent than Seattle. Its congestion has gotten worse, just as it has at Seattle. Many Portlanders are proud of light rail. They are faithful. But the last 3 times new light rail plans have been on the ballot in the Portland area, people rejected them. Once you get them, you don't like them. Now here is another one, and actually I would love to compare this with the city's numbers. This is from the FTA report. Look what other cities have spent on rail systems. Yeah, only Los Angeles, a city of 15 million people, spent something close to 3 or 4 billion. Now, look at Los Angeles. They predicted 3 billion, they spent 4.4. And here goes tiny Honolulu with 500,000 people, and Mr. Hamayasu tells you with a straight face that we're prepared to spend $3.5 billion. Just like that. Very good. So, the solution is hot lanes and BRT. Hot lanes is high occupancy toll lanes. Buses and van pools go for free. Low occupancy cars pay a toll to use a free flow highway which has a lot of reserve capacity. I-25 on Denver has a basic toll of 50 cents, and in the peak of the peaks, it charges $3.25. That's in a city of 4 million people, and that is a system engineered by Parsons Bringerhoff, who consistently is doing the analysis in Honolulu and keeps helping the city to plug a rail system. BRT is bus rapid transit, just to clarify. This is my design for a hot lanes in Honolulu, that it has 4 entry ramps. Yes, I agree that the ramps will be big, but there is room to build these entry ramps. And there are 4 or 5 ramps along the way, one in the Pearl City area, one at the stadium. Have you seen the space we have around the stadium? One at the Pearl, for access to the Pearl Harbor. One at Lagoon Drive. Have you seen how wide Lagoon Drive is? And one at Waya Camilo that fits perfectly in the median. Finally, my system terminates, like the cities, at Evilay. And watch it. Our system, as he showed you for Tampa, it's a little bigger, but we are not running into residential Honolulu. Their system is running through residential neighborhoods with noise and huge bulk. We're running through industrial and freeway areas, apples and oranges. Now here is indeed the Tampa Viaduct, and to my opinion, and I visited it, it doesn't look big from underneath. It looks very airy. And I want to compare capacity. So if this system has 100 buses, 400 van pools, and 5,000 cars, in 1 hour in the morning, it can carry 12,000 people seated comfortably in cars, vans, or buses. Rail, if you're lucky to running in 3-minute headways, which the city plans, optimistically, you run 20 trains per hour, times 300 capacity, 6,000 people, of which 60% are standees. How good is that? So you get half the capacity, and half of them are standing. Woohoo! And you pay $3.5 billion for that. Oh, Mr. Hamayasu said that there are no ramps on the Tampa Expressway. Oh, what is that one? Here is a carpool entering from a ramp. Yes, this section is not elevated, but there are ramps, and you know, we can deal with ramps. Come on, how many ramps does H1 and H2 does? Hawaiian dredging can build ramps out of nothing, you know. And there are a lot of hot lanes in the nation right now. Look at honolulutraffic.com to see a complete list. Now, we formed a group with my graduates and undergraduate students at the UH, and we did the state's largest micro-simulation analysis, and we looked at several options in great detail. Here is a detail of the H1 freeway, Punch Bowl overflowing, and this is Vineyard Boulevard. This is a hot lanes, and it's running parallel to Nimitz Highway, exiting at Guayacamilo. Let's see how this plays. Real quick, hopefully I'm not going to lose a lot of time. Look at it. So look how Nimitz is all bottleneck, and the hot lanes are flying at 60 miles an hour, safely exiting at Guayacamilo. Okay? That's how it does. Look at the traffic signal and all the congestion that it creates, and the hot lanes are running at 55, 60 miles an hour, and some of them terminate at Guayacamilo. Things can happen if you engineer them correctly and if you put your mind to it. And Parsons Brigham have proved that time and again by doing the right thing in other cities instead of trying to be subservient to the mayor. And this is the exit at Ibilay, where you have a specific ramp that goes around as a bus-only ramp, and you can see 2 buses, and ends at Hotel Street. So my buses go directly from the H1, H2 merge to the transit center in the heart of town, which piggybacks very well with the cities. And my old idea in 2002, the city was wrongly going in Kapiolani. My idea was to take the King Beretania couplet and run the BRT there. Okay? As a result now, my student can go from Kapolei to the UH in very short time. And here is an approximation based on simulation. Kapolei to the UH, hot and BRT about 50 minutes by bus. If you take your car and you use the hot lanes, 42 minutes. And if you use rail transit, by following the city's numbers, 75 minutes. How good is that? Several $billion to get inferior, even travel time service. Other solutions include underpasses, and here I don't have the time, so hopefully somebody will ask me a question to give you how this works. So, and I want to conclude because I really want to be, within the guidelines. Alternatives compared. So we compared rail, and I was generous to give 3% reduction of traffic. 4 underpasses, which I'll explain later, hot lanes, or a Pearl Harbor tunnel. Look now how you compare a $30 to $50 million alternative with a $3 to $5 billion alternative. They do the same job for the entire network I showed you, H1, H2 to Makali. While this is the true solution where 1/3 of the congestion goes away. And with this, I thank you for your attention, and I'll be happy to take your questions later.
Thank you very much, Dr.